this down. That's a little too high. Hello, Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post these up to social media. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka, done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. There are 40,000 therapists working for them. They are international. They're awesome. I've gotten great feedback. People like their therapists. So thank you, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay. Current events. Holy cow, so much to talk about. First of all, so great to see you guys at the meet and greets. This was so much fun. Thank you for showing up and telling your stories and, talking and letting me answer questions for you and all that sort of good stuff. So thanks, you guys. This was awesome. We're going to do it again next year. I think the where we're going to go next year is probably going to be, let me get this straight in my head, Chicago, Columbus, Ohio. Is that what we decided, John? Columbus? Probably Columbus, Ohio, and Boston. So we're going to do 3 next summer. So anyway, that's that. I'll get all the dates and stuff together. That probably won't go up on my website until January. So I can post the dates in January and you guys can know when we're going to be doing this. So there is that. Current events. I just read on CNN yesterday that the Department of Justice is investigating the Phoenix Police Department for brutality, for using excessive force. I'm not surprised. I had this conversation with Judy yesterday. We were talking about police and narcissists in positions of power. So remember, narcissists are drawn to positions of power. Police also do not get intensive training in lots of things, but specifically in mental health issues. So what they don't understand is if you've got somebody who is floridly psychotic, and I mean like floridly psychotic, hearing voices, Satan on one side, God on the other, screaming at each other, it is damn near impossible to follow instructions from somebody talking to you directly. So a lot of times these police officers get this attitude where they're like, I'll show you, I'll make you listen, I'll da-da-da-da-da, and they use excessive force because they think the person is being non-compliant because they want to be non-compliant. And the reality of it is Satan is screaming at them, God is screaming at them, and they're trying to focus on what's going on. If you've ever been with somebody, and I told Judy this yesterday, this was something that I don't think a lot of people know unless you study psychology. If you've ever been with somebody who hears voices, right? Like they've got Satan on one side, God on the other, their eyes will slide to whichever side is talking. So you can watch them be sitting there perfectly quiet, but their eyes are doing this kind of thing. They're like going back and forth. So, and they think that people that are non-compliant are doing it on purpose, and then they cop an attitude and they get rough with them, and that's not okay. So there needs to be better training, obviously, for mental health issues for police officers. But part of the problem is that those positions are attractive to narcissists and psychopaths who enjoy manhandling people, hurting people, harming people, being sadistic, having power over someone, telling people what to do all the time, So it's any position where there's a position of power, including police officers, judges, lawyers, doctors, therapists, who else can I think of? Anything, teachers, professors, etc. Narcissists are very attracted to those positions because that's their supply. That's their narcissistic hit, if you will, because they have power over somebody. So anyway, I read that and I was just like, I'm not surprised. There's been so many instances of the Phoenix Police Department being overly rough with the homeless, overly rough with the mentally ill, which are usually homeless and mentally ill. So I'm glad they're being investigated. And I hope that the Department of Justice does something because something needs to be done. So anyway, there that is. This couch is really not comfortable. Okay. So today I wanted to talk about you're divorcing. Okay, you finally decided you're getting away from the person, you're divorcing, or you weren't married, but you have a child, and there's a custody thing going on, and you're having to go to family court because you cannot afford an attorney. So you're going without an attorney. Okay, so what do you do? Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is ask for mediation. Why? Mediation's a lot cheaper. You can do a mediator for a lot less than you can do an attorney. And this is why I want you to do it. It's not going to work. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The mediation is probably not going to work. Narcissists are not exactly known for compromise, okay? And when you get a mediator, it's an independent, third party that's hearing both sides and that's going to try to help you come to some agreements. Narcissists are not diplomats, okay? They want to win at all costs. So you're asking me, why in the world would I waste money on a mediator? Two reasons. One, you could possibly get some things hammered out with the mediation, and that would be good, okay? Two, you've now got a paper trail from an independent person that's going to be able to show that you went through mediation, one of you was reasonable and one of you was not, okay? That's going to be one of the things you're going to want to do. You want a paper trail. You want to be able to show, okay, I tried mediation. Look, I paid for the mediator. Here's the thing. Here it is. Here we tried to work it out. I was willing to compromise. This person was not. So that's another reason why you want to do it. The other thing you're going to want to do is look for either shelters, women's shelters, or universities, colleges. Sometimes they will offer free or very, very low cost legal advice. You're going to need it. Okay. If you can get an attorney, my advice is get an attorney. You're going to need it, because what I see these abusers do is they will run out and they will hire a slime ball just like them. Basically, they go out and they get another narcissist as an attorney, and they no moral compass. Let me just be clear. They don't have a moral compass. They're just as nasty as they are. That attorney is going to be attacking you and all of sort of awful stuff. And it's really intimidating for targets of abuse to go up against an ex with an attorney, because now they're using the courts as abuse by proxy. So now they're using the courts to try to punish you. Okay. That's why I'm saying it's a good idea to have an attorney. If you cannot get one, if you cannot afford one, you could ask for the court to make the other party pay for your attorney. They could say no. In this day and age, often they do, but sometimes they don't, especially if you've not been working, you've been staying home taking care of the kids, whatever is going on. So you're going to want to get legal advice either now. Fresh Start Women's Resource Center offers very low price legal advice. It's by attorneys that are retired, but they can certainly work through the paperwork with you. They can explain how the court is going to go, what to watch out for, what to do, that kind of thing. They can kind of prep you on what to expect. And I think that's well worth whatever little amount you can pay. I think it's like $15 for the Fresh Start Women's Resource Center. Now, the problem with Fresh Start Women's Resource Center, it's only for women. And I don't see a lot of resources legal for men. So, and the thing of it is men get hit with abusive narcissists as well. So, okay, so you've tried the mediation, you've tried to get them to pay for the attorney. Let's say they say no, mediation didn't work. What are you going to do? Okay, the wheels of justice grind very slowly. It takes forever to get a court case up to the judge. Okay. So, especially with divorce, in a lot of states, they make you wait 60 days or something like that before it's even put on the docket, because it's a cooling off period. Okay. In that 60 days, I want you to document the crap out of everything, every conversation. Make sure everything is written down. I do not want anything to be a phone call. Why? Because narcissists, if their lips are moving, they are lying. Okay. And what they'll do is they'll call you and they'll start stuff, or they'll say something, or they'll be heinous, or they'll, do X, Y, and Z. And now you have no proof because it was all verbal. It was all, Now, in the state of Arizona, supposedly you can tape that call, but here's the big but. Judges don't like that because judges are stupid, quite frankly. And again, I want to point out that a lot of these judges do not get training in personality disorders. And that's all family court is. So, believe it or not, there are sane divorces. There are people who get divorced without ever having to set foot into a court. That's amicable. They actually go, you know what? This didn't work out. We've got a kid together. Let's split it 50-50. Let's do this. We'll do, what works for you, what works for you. Okay, great. We'll figure it out. There are divorces like that, not with a narcissist. Not with a narcissist. Not ever. Not on this planet, not on any other planet. So the thing about a narcissist is that the way they view court really influences how they behave and what they do. So the court to them is grand theater. It really is. And it's their opportunity to smear you, essentially, to put you down, to smear you, which is why I want you to get in with the mediator first, because that way the mediator can see all this stuff going on. This is all now documented. The mediator can see that you were trying to work with the narcissist and they're constantly saying, no, 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 see you in court. Okay. That's also probably going to help with asking for attorney's fees, because if you can show that this person is intentionally using the court system to try to bankrupt you, a lot of judges, once they see that, will then say, yeah, give this person some attorney's fees. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. They view it as grand theater. They view it as the way to smear you. They also view the judge as like a parent. It's the weirdest thing. So they expect, it's like they want to run to the judge and tell them everything. And, they did this and they did that. Well, the judge doesn't care. Okay. First and foremost, you've got to understand the judge gives zero bleeps about your divorce, like zero bleeps. Like what they want is for you two to just frickin' agree and get off their docket at any point in time. There are over 800 cases on that one judge's docket. That's just one judge. Every single family court judge out there has got over 800 cases. All they want you to do is agree and get out. They don't give a flip about the narcissist's BS about what you've done. Okay. So a lot of targets of abuse get very hung up on, but they're going to smear me. But they're going to, yeah, they are 110%. Here's the deal. You want to stay cool as a cucumber. You want to stay out of the emotion. You want facts and figures that the judge can deal with. If you give the judge facts and figures, the judge can do that. If you've got a narcissist that's wound up and is spinning out of control and raging and screaming and doing all of this stuff, the judge has zero tolerance for that. They don't have time. They just want you to agree and get out. So if you come in cool as a cucumber, here's all the paperwork, here's all the facts, here's all the numbers, here's all the bank statements, here's all the correspondence, the judge is going to love that. Trust me on that one. Now, let's back it up a little bit. Documentation. So one of the things that needs to be done is to demand that they do our family wizard. Now, every single narcissist will fight that tooth and nail, and they'll try to call you. And what you have to do is not answer, send them a text. Nope. You can contact me through our family wizard, or you can send me a text, or you can email me. Seriously, because those three ways, our family wizard, which is email, personal email, and text, are all written. Therefore, you can print them up. You can use them as evidence. You cannot use a phone call as evidence. It's hearsay. It's like, well, he said, she said. Well, how nice, there's no proof. But if you've got a time-stamped, date stamped, email, our family wizard, or a text, judge is going to take that a lot more into consideration. So you want to start. No, the judges don't care. They really don't. They just want you off their docket. If you want to start preparing yourself, you must work on your self-esteem, and you must work on boundaries, and you must work on gray rock. Okay. What the narcissist and the narcissist lawyer are going to do is they're going to try to get you emotional so that you'll start explaining yourself. You do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. Listen to me now. Believe me now. When you go into court, you want your answers to be 1 or 2 word sentences. That's it. Listen to me, do not explain. The judge doesn't care. That judge is not mom or dad. You don't have to explain to them. So I want you to get into the habit of answering only yes or no, or very short sentences, not a huge explanation. Because when you start going into a huge explanation, that attorney is going to go, ha ha, and then try to get you confused and try to get you upset and try to get you keep talking, and you're going to start flubbing somehow. Not lying, but you're going to get upset, and that's not going to look good with the judge. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is you want to practice what could they possibly ask? And you want to document everything that you need to bring up. So let's talk about some of the things that needs to be in your divorce decree. Okay. It absolutely needs to be, okay, what is the custody going to be? You're not going to get full custody, guys. I hate to break it to you. Yes, this person is abusive. No, they have no business having children. Yes, we both know that. However, the court is not going to see it that way. Our family court system, besides being immensely screwed up, is meant to either keep families together or it's meant to 50-50. Okay. So that's why they make you wait 60 days, hoping that you'll, reconcile, kind of thing. So 50-50 is as good as it's going to get. Seriously. So if you ask for 50-50, you're being reasonable. If you go in there and you go, damn it, they're abusive, they've done this, they've done that, they've done this, they've done that, I want full custody, the judge is going to internally laugh at you, unfortunately, and then give you 50-50 anyway. So it's a game. It's a game, and it's a messed up game. And sometimes these judges are narcissists themselves, and they will start to side with the abuser, which is why you must remain calm and cool, facts and figures, and then hopefully the narcissist will go off on a tangent and waste time and piss off the judge. Do you see where I'm going with that? You cannot do what you used to do with your abuser in the court, is what I'm trying to say. You cannot get emotional. You cannot. You've got a gray rock. You've got to be Spock from Star Trek. You've got to be logical, cold, cool, calculating. That is the only way to be in court. So, all right. So you want to document everything that you need to get. So if they were abusive, hopefully there's a paper trail to show that they were abusive. You would need to have, like calls from CPS or, medical stuff or things like that. So if there is any of that evidence, get it together. Okay. Do not do something that cannot be proven. That's the big thing. You cannot make an accusation unless you have hard evidence to back it up. So yeah, they could have been verbally abusive, 100%, and were verbally abusive. They could have or did do things in front of the kids. Unless you've got witnesses or you've got evidence, hearsay. They're not going to take it into consideration, which is so frustrating for us that have gone through abuse, because it's kind of like, but, So that's the other thing. It's like, you really got to get your inner child under control when you're going through court. So what ends up happening to a lot of survivors of abuse is they freak out. Like, they're scared, like really scared. And they should be, because court is like a foreign country. It really is. I mean, it has its own language, it has its own customs, it has its own manners. I mean, really, it just, and you have to do things in a certain way and you have to present things in a certain way. And that's why I'm saying you want to get legal advice. You want someone at the very, very least to talk you through it so that you know how to file things, so that you file things properly, so that it doesn't get kicked out because it wasn't filed properly. Does that make sense? The other thing you can do too is you could talk to a paralegal. You can get a paralegal to help you with that too. So, and it depends on the state. So find out who can give you either free or very low cost legal advice, who can help you with the paperwork. Can you go to a paralegal? Can you go to a retired attorney, one of the ones that volunteers? Can you do that? If you can, do. So, all right, you want to get all of your texts, all of your emails, all of your Our Family Wizard. If you can insist on our Family Wizard and they keep not using it, every time they don't use it, you tell them, Our Family Wizard, you need to be using it. Well, I don't want to use Our Family Wizard. Well, that's where we need to be communicating. And then you just show that to the court. Okay, they're not using Our Family Wizard. They keep trying to contact me. They keep trying to call me. They keep trying to text me. They keep trying to da 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 da. So you want to show that. These are things you need to show. Custody. Let's talk about that for a second. So you're not going to get full custody. We talked about that. They will very often give up time. I know it's weird, with all the fuss they make and how much they drag us back to court and all of that sort of fun stuff. You would think that they would spend time with their progeny. Nope. A lot of times it's just to hurt us. They just want to get custody to hurt us. That's really what it's all about. And then they get bored. They get bored. They can't be bothered. Ugh. They have to go to the, country club and go play tennis or whatever BS they're doing. And so, can you watch the kids? They will do that. Or what's worse is they will not give you the right of first refusal. Remember that phrase. And they'll have some babysitter watch the kids for the week that the kids are there, or the 5225 or whatever. Seriously, you want to make sure that if they are not going to be in custody of those kids and with them, that you have the right to watch them. That is the right of first refusal. So in other words, if they're busy and they can't take the kids on their time, then you get to take them and they forfeit their time. So you want to ask for that. You're going to ask for that in mediation as well, okay? You're going to ask for that in the divorce decree. You're going to ask for right for final medical say, okay? So remember, narcissists are selfish to the nth degree. I have seen them withhold medical from kids because they didn't want to spend the money, because money means everything to them and kids mean nothing. So you want to have the final say in medical. Absolutely. If you can. Now, a lot of judges won't do that. A lot of judges will be like, it has to be 50-50. Dear God, I feel for the doctors that have to sit in on some of those medical visits, because if the one parent wants to do something that's right for the kid, the narcissist will say the polar opposite and start arguing with the doctor. Doctors don't want to be involved in this, guys. They don't. Nobody wants to be involved in this. Ain't nobody got time for this. So it's really frustrating for the doctors, and they then don't want to, be around you guys. And then they have to document everything. And then they're afraid of being subpoenaed. So, and that's the other thing. Do not be afraid of doing your own subpoenas for records. If you need to get records from doctors showing that this other parent was combative and not doing the right thing for your kiddo, then you need to get a subpoena and get those records. They'll tell you, I can't, blah, blah, blah. Anybody can be subpoenaed, people. Anybody can be subpoenaed, and they had better come up with a really damn good reason why they didn't respond to it, because that is contempt of court. So, and again, a lot of doctors are narcissists themselves. So they think they're above the law. They're not. Nope. If somebody subpoenas my records, I have to turn them over unless there's a really good reason not to. So, for example, if there is the threat of violence, right? Like if some of this stuff was made available to this person, they would turn around and harm the other person. I could argue before the judge, nope, I'm not going to turn it over, and here's why. It's not in the best interest of my client, that kind of thing. So thank God, knock wood, I've not had to do that yet. But, so subpoenas are a thing. You can do your own subpoenas. You can subpoena for records. You absolutely can. And medical records should be yours. And the kids' medical records should be yours. There's no reason for them to withhold them from you. Now, a lot of times, like I said, our inner child gets going and we're like, but they're the authority, but they're no, they're not. No, they are not. They do not know what is best for you in this instance, because you are divorcing a narcissist and they're looking out for their own best interests. If they're withholding records, it's because they're afraid and they don't know the law, obviously. So, you know what I'm saying? So you have the right to your own medical records. You have the right to your own kids' medical records as long as they're minors. Okay. So, all right, where was I? So, medical power of attorney or final medical say, you're going to go for 50-50. That's the best you're going to get. And I know everyone out there is going, but my God, when they're with them, well, yeah, it's going to be, until they turn 18, it's going to be a pain in the hind end. They're going to go be with that other parent, and they're going to come back to you. And just about the time you finally get them back to being normal again, they have to turn around and go back to the other parent. Best case scenario, though, is, and this is something I really want to point out, guys. Oh, this drives me crazy. I hear survivors of abuse who have not done the work say things like, but, the child needs their other parent. No, they don't. If the other parent is an abusive narcissist and that other parent is giving up time, say nothing, document, and then get more custody. Okay? No, they do not need that other parent. I don't know where people got that. Swear to God, if you're listening to TikTok for your advice, stop. So, no, you don't need the other parent. What they need is a sane role model in their life. That's not sane. If that was sane, we would not be divorcing them. Does that make sense? So, okay, you don't need that other parent. If that other parent is giving up time, don't force them to take the kids. Dear God, consider it a blessing. That is a best case scenario. Seriously, when I get cases like that where the narcissist gives up time and wants to go party and doesn't want to be bothered and all of that stuff, I praise Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Bufa Baba, whoever the hell's out there, because it's like, thank God, because now they're giving up time. We can now document, you can now document that they're giving up time, and then you just wait. And then when the year comes around, you file for more custody and you file for child support. So child support, yes, and spousal support. If you've given up your career to take care of the family and the home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you are absolutely going to file for spousal support. A lot of people are like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. No, I just want them to go away. And so you can't do that, guys. Listen to me now. They don't just go away. They don't. Are they going to be a pain in your hind end until the kids are 18? Yeah, 100%. 100%. But that's going to be whether you give up everything or you give up nothing. They're going to be a pain in your hind end until the kids turn 18, period. What I see people doing, what I see survivors of abuse doing, because the inner child is running the show, they go, well, no, I just want them to I don't need that. No, I don't want that from them. No, because if I ask for that, they're going to punish me. They're going to punish you anyway. You might as well get child support and you might as well get spousal support, 100%. So I'm running out of time, but the point I'm trying to make is court stirs up a lot of our family of origin stuff. The judge is seen as a parental figure. The narcissist terrifies our inner child. The judge terrifies our inner child. So you want to work on your self-esteem like a boss. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like when I tell people do mirror work daily, I am not just saying that just to hear myself say that. Do mirror work daily. Work on your inner child daily. That's the one that's sabotaging you, not intentionally. It's not like the little kid is like, I know, let's sabotage her. It's doing it out of fear. It's trying to make the bad person go away. Well, the bad person's not going to go away. Bad person only goes away when you make them go away. Okay. And the way you make them to go away is you stand up for yourself and you stand up for your kids. That's how you make them go away. You don't give them everything in a misguided attempt to not get punished. They're going to punish you anyway. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but these types of people that do this, that drag people through court year after year after year after year after year after year, use the court as an abuse by proxy, use police as an abuse by proxy, use CPS as an abuse by proxy. They don't just go away until you stand up to them. They are enjoying watching your fear. They are enjoying watching you squirm. They are enjoying watching you be fearful. Nope, you got a gray rock. You got a zero bleeps to give. It's like, nope, I'm here for my kids and me, and that's it. And you can go pound sand, mother clucker. You know, you've really got to get to that point. So work on the Inner Child. The Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor. The Regaining the Inner Child by Lucia Cappuccioni. Work on Facing Codependency by Pia Melody. I've also heard survivors of abuse go, oh, but you know, it would be a hardship for them. Well, they should have thought about that while they were beating you. They should have thought about that when they were seeing the kids watch you guys fight, you know, and be screamed at. No sympathy, none. Zip, zero, zilch, nada. That's codependency. You're feeling sorry for somebody who does not deserve your pity. So, okay. So, Facing Codependency by Pia Melody, or The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker. CPTSD, From Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker. Write and burn letters. Seriously, get out all the emotional stuff by journaling, by writing it out, or screaming it out in the shower, or whatever, singing it out, painting it out. I don't care. Just get it out, because you do not want to be emotional in the court. Okay. Okay. CPTSD, Facing Codependency, Inner Child Workbook, Self-Esteem Workbook, Glenn Schiraldi, because that other attorney is going to go for your self-esteem. Guarantee it. They're going to accuse you of being a horrible parent. They're going to accuse you of all sorts of stuff. And you've just got to be like, So Gray Rock is your friend in the court for sure. Now, here's a couple of tips and tricks. And I've said this every time I talk about court, but I'm going to talk about it again. When the opposing attorney asks you questions, they are more than likely, if your spouse is a narcissist, they will have hired somebody that reminds them of them. So that attorney is definitely going to be disordered. I have dealt with some of the most disordered attorneys. Oh my God. So they will try to poke the bear. They will try to get you emotional. They will also ask two-part questions. So that two-part question is a question that could be answered with a yes and a no. If they do that, if one part of the question could be yes and the other part of the question could be no, you play dumb. You get a bottle of water with you up on the stand. You can take water on the stand with you. And while they're asking you the question, you take a sip. That gives you time to think. And you're going to need the time to think, because that inner child is going to want to do the talking. For the love of God and all that is holy, do not let the inner child do the talking. So if the attorney asks you a two-part question that could be yes and could be no, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Could you rephrase that? Watch the attorney get pissed off, because they're used to people falling for their tricks. So if you keep getting a yes and or no, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. Could you rephrase that? I did that one time to an attorney like 4 or 5 times, and oh, he was pissed, because I wasn't going to answer the question until it was either a yes question or a no question. He finally got it down to a no question, and I answered it. Oh, no. Well, can you elaborate on that? No, I don't think I need to. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Just because the opposing attorney wants you to elaborate does not mean you need to start explaining yourself. You can say, no, because no is a complete sentence. They won't like it. Who cares? You're there for you and your kids. Doesn't matter. Don't want to please the attorney. That's the thing they're going to play on. They're going to play on the codependency. So a lot of times people get into court and they want to please the attorney and they want to please the judge. Fuck both of them. You don't need both of them. What you need is to please you and to take care of you and your kids. You're not there to please the attorney. You're not there to please the judge. If they don't like your answer, too bad. No is a complete sentence. No, I don't feel like, giving you more explanation, explaining. Seriously, no is a complete sentence. Remember that. You are under no obligation to go into a long explanation. If the answer is no, the answer is no. No is a complete sentence. Whew. All right. So to review, document, 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 document. Start off with mediation. You've got to show that this other person is being unreasonable. They're not even willing to agree to a neutral third party in mediation. And it's having to go before a judge. And when you do go before the judge, facts, figures, no emotion. Facts and figures. And you want to show in your documentation that they're not using Our Family Wizard, that they're refusing to use Our Family Wizard, that they keep trying to call you, and that you finally have to say, no, I'm not. And you're going to have to do this. I will not answer the phone. You must text me, or you must email me, or you must use My Family Wizard. Now, they're not going to like that. Why? Because now there's a paper trail and they know it. But then they're going to be forced to, because no judge on the face of the planet is going to say, oh yeah, just go ahead and call. That's not going to happen. You are in the right, they are in the wrong, and they don't like that. Okay, that is my advice on court. So hope that was helpful, because I've had several clients going through that recently, and lots of people texting and emailing and asking and going, what do I do? So hopefully this will help you guys. Okay, next week, I want to talk about the fear of emotions. What is it with survivors being terrified of emotions? So I want to talk about emotions next week and kind of help normalize them. So anyway, there that is. All right, let's dive into the questions, shall we? Does a narc falsify documents that they want to use in court? Oh God, they can try. Yeah, 100%. What happens if they, wait a minute, I can't. Oh, if they find out that these documents are fake. Oh, well, they will be, what is it when you lie in court? It's perjury. Yeah, that's no bueno. So will they file false documents? Will they file false witness? Will they file absurd and frivolous lawsuits? Will they file absurd and frivolous DCS or DPS reports? Will they do that with the police? Yes, they will, 100%. It's not going to go well for them. The court does not like being made a fool of, and the police department does not like its resources being wasted. Okay. CPS doesn't like that either. So if they're filing false documents, make sure you have the proof to show that they're false documents, and then they're going to be in a world of hurt, because that's not going to fly very well with the judge. Lucky is voicing his opinion over there. Yeah, darn straight. Okay, let's see. Do we have any other questions, or was that was it? Okay. All right. So yeah, no. So here's the thing. If you can catch them in a lie, if your attorney can catch them in a lie, if you can catch them in hi, sir, if you can catch them in a lie through documentation, that's perjury. They've lied in court under oath. No bueno. If they're filing false document, hold please, Lucky. I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy here. Go on. If you can prove that they filed false documents, again, that does not fly well with the court. And I've had some cases where the narcissist either lied, they perjured themselves, or they tried to submit doctored documents, and then you should see them backpedal when they get caught. So it's kind of like, how do I explain? Do you remember, I don't know if you read the news, but a few weeks ago, some woman tried to sell Graceland, and she submitted all of these fake documents. She submitted fake notary documents, fake loan documents, fake all of this stuff, and then tried to say that Graceland had forfeited on the loan. And she really thought she could get away with it. And that's hubris, man. So, and it was funny because the notary that she claimed that she had gotten these from was like, "That's not my signature. I don't know how this woman got my stuff, but this is not my stuff." So yeah, they're very arrogant, and they're very they think they know the law better than the lawyers do, and they think they know the law better than anybody else does. So what you want to do is you want to get a working knowledge of how courts work, how the law works, what you can and cannot do. That's why you want to go speak to an attorney at the very least. You don't need to retain them necessarily, but you want somebody to help you with the paperwork, and you want somebody to help you go through all of the how to file, what to say, the manners, the things you have to do, that kind of stuff. So anyway, all right, my loves, that is it for today. Next week is going to be on accepting all of your emotions, all of them. All right, and I will talk to you next Sunday. Bye.